Hello everyone, my name is David and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today everybody, I've created 5 different houses. Each house I changed the design just a little bit and it makes the house better. So these are 4 different tips on how to make your Minecraft houses better. It works for most houses like this one. So this is the first house that I made today. It's fairly simple. It's not very good, but I've seen it. I've seen things like this built before. So the first way you can improve upon this house specifically is to add these support pillars on the outside. Specifically the outside. It's tempting to put them in these walls here, but you shouldn't do that because this actually helps with depth in the build. You don't want just a random square box, you want it to look nice. And the easiest way to make things look better is to add more depth to the build. So these support pillars not only make the house look more stable, it also makes it feel like it has more shape despite this still being more square-like. You should also extend the roof slightly over on these support pillars here, which also adds to the shape all around the house itself. And just keep in mind, you can do these steps in any order you want to. I would recommend doing this step first, however the other ones aren't as important. And the next thing I decided to change was the windows. I made the windows taller, and I also made them stained glass, and I made them panes. This is just because it adds more space in the walls of the house, and it just adds more on the outside without having to actually detail it too much. Also, generally today, bigger windows just are more common. They look nice. For details, I added these spruce trapdoors on the walls that can act as like shutters. Also, on the back side, I added a flower pot that is actually hanging from a chain. I know it's not connected, so I used a bigger flower, and it's fairly close, but if you can't really tell, if you're not looking too closely, it looks like there's a nice hanging flower pot right there. I also added some flowers up front, and, whoopsie. This is meant to be dark oak trapdoor, not a spruce trapdoor. I don't know how I messed that up, apologies. With the flowers on the build, it does add more color to everything, which just generally makes the house feel more in tune with nature, I guess. Either way, flowers are nice. Of course, you can do what you want for these details, these are just my personal suggestions. So the next house, which is the 4th one, is the roof. It's a very big change that I've made compared to the other ones. So first thing is, for the outline, I had it in stone and not cobblestone. Why is that? Well, it breaks up the cobblestone, and also for doing that I added andesite. All these blocks look nice together. This is just like a trim for the roof, essentially. It's the main purpose it serves with the stone, and it fits well because it is also a gray block. And another thing I added was a chimney. I also put a campfire up here, sitting on a block, inside of some trapdoors, so then you can have actual smoke coming out. Some people prefer to use glass for that fading, but this is the simplest option. I also added a little outside area for the house with some fences right here, with the roof making another triangle. It was a very simple change, but it does add more shape to the house. Of course, a great way to add shape to the house is to make it less square, but I wanted to keep the house somewhat close to the original design. So now you may be wondering, where's the 5th house? These are only 4. Well, it's actually in a different world, and this is by far the least simple step for changing your house to make it look better, as this one requires the most creativity. And I don't mean to say it's hard for us to be creative, rather it's just easier to follow steps that have been laid out for us, rather than coming up with our own idea. So I joined a different world for this last house, because the last step is sort of more of integrating it into the environment surrounding the house. I rebuilt the exact house here in this world exactly the same as the other ones, I'm pretty sure anyways. But either way, there are a few things around the environment of the house I've made. I've made it in a simple forest biome, a very common biome at that. And what I added out the back was, first of all, a little farm. I surrounded it with fences so animals can stomp on the crops. And I also have some carpets right here, as people can jump on these, but animals cannot. So it's a great way to get in without having to use fence gates. You can use whatever you prefer. Also, here's a trick you can use with the water. If you don't want it to be visible, you can put it underneath these carpets here. You could just place a carpet there, place another on top, and boom, it's gone. It works well, and it just looks like a piece of farmland that doesn't have anything on it currently. Either way, you can choose what you want for that specifically. The first thing you probably noticed was this bridge here. On this supposed place where you would have built your house, there is a river nearby, and a great simple way to make it seem more at home is to just build a simple little bridge. This isn't the simplest of bridges as it curves up a little bit, but it is a nice little bridge that connects your house to the rest of the world more and gets you across the river. And it does look nice, and it works with the environment specifically. I also added a little pathway along by the house and the river. It leads to nothing, it's just for the idea that it would go somewhere. And the other thing I did was actually, first of all, change a majority of the area around the house underneath the water from dirt to sand. It's a lighter, brighter color. It looks better than the dirt on the ground. And I also lit the area up with sea pickles. Of course, I left a little bit of dirt piles in areas and gravel, as that is how it would look probably realistically, but most of it has been changed to sand. As for underwater, I did add, besides sea pickles, some coral sporadically placed around in all of the different colors, and a lot of seagrass. Now that I think about it, I could have also added kelp, but I didn't think about that then, so if you want to add kelp around, you can certainly do that. The whole point of this last step is to make it feel more at home with the environment that it's in. Since this place is by a river, I added a bridge, and because it is the river, I detailed the lake. And because there was water around here, I also added some farmland. And I also placed some of the sugarcane around this pond here and detailed that as well. And in different areas you would have to do different things, which is why this is the most difficult step, as this is only an example for this environment. What about a spruce area? Or a mesa biome? Or an ice biome? Or a jungle, which is actually, there is one just over there. This is the most personal step of everything in this video, so I hope you can just try to get creative and come up with your own ideas for this one. I gave you a few for this area, but not for others. So that is all for the video today. I hope you learned something new that you hadn't about building, and if that didn't happen, then hopefully you got reminded of just some ways to improve your builds that you might not have thought of recently. And if you're not a builder, and you're looking to get better at it, I hope this helped you on your journey. But anyways, that is all from me today. I hope you are doing well, I guess, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!